Okay, we'll start. See this point. Gifts by employer to employee not exceeding 50,000 in a financial year per employee is excluded from supply. Why? Employee to employer is excluded from supply. Employee providing services to employer and the employee gets a salary and that is excluded from supply, correct? And employer giving some goods or services to the employee is not excluded from supply. What they said is employee to employer in the course of employment is only excluded from supply, but reverse, employer to employee, that is not excluded. So then will it be covered under supply? Maybe it is covered under supply. So what is that employer giving to employee? Goods or services. Can you give me example of employer giving goods or services to employee? Cab facility, correct? Food facility, am I right, Pa? So these are all some things which are given by employer to employee for consideration or without consideration, both. Sometimes they will provide the cab facility and they will charge the nominal amount. Sometimes food will be given free, they will not charge any amount for that. So therefore either it can be for consideration or without consideration. If the employer provides goods or services to the employee for consideration, it will become supply under 7(1)(a), even though those amounts are nominal amounts. So there are n number of advanced rulings and court cases which says that you don't consider it as employee welfare, it will be covered under supply. So like usually some corporates, what they do is that they provide afternoon lunch to the employees. Mainly in Bengaluru I have seen this trend, even in Chennai also many companies in OMR, ECR side and all, they will be giving afternoon lunch free. So not every employer will be like your principal, so who will not give one biscuit also, okay? So not like that. There are good people on earth, okay? Don't see your principal and think, okay, like this only people will be there. Of course I am not talking about everyone, majority I am talking about. There are some good people also there in CA, but it's like hardly 5% or 10%, that much only. 90% are idiots only, okay? And they harass the students like anything. I don't know what satisfaction they get, and some kind of mental problem. So yes sir, someone suffered over there. Psychic problem, psychopaths. So before itself we will tell, sir, my exam, sir, 3 months, at least 3 months before you leave me, exactly that time only they will send for outstation audit, and you will inform that I joined for classes. Okay, oh really, very good, congratulations. Next day itself they will put some work for us, some audit work, etc. and all. And we also like idiots, no, so much sincere, as if we are getting some profit share and all, okay? No, so much sincerely you guys also will be working, night out and all you will do. So night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock and all, some people will stay there itself, okay? Amazing, yeah. I did not get this kind of bonded labor, otherwise na, I would have been in a different place. So amazing actually. So a nice bonded labor you are, anything, you will not ask anything. My employees are there. If I say something, na, sir, should we do this, sir, like that, they will ask. But you guys, if I tell anything, you will, okay? Go to second floor and jump from there also you will do. CA, no? Principal, whatever they say you will listen, and they take you for granted also. But there are good employers, the moment you go to job and all, what they do is that they provide afternoon lunch for free. Some employers will charge a nominal amount, because when it is given as free, these people will take it for granted, like they will put everything, they will taste little bit, they will not like, and they will throw in the dustbin. So food and all you should not waste. And maybe you did not like that, leave it, someone will eat, no? and 10 rupees they will be charging, nominal amount 10 rupees they will charge. And this 10 rupees, because I have seen this, I once went to one factory, so that was like Hyundai. I went for meeting one person over there relating to the professional work, and there that person said there was no restaurant and all next to that factory, nothing is there, it's like one forest. And they said, sir, why to go outside and all, we have a beautiful canteen here, come we will eat, like that. So canteen, yes sir, nice sir, it will be. I went there and everyone is standing in the queue and giving 10 rupees and purchasing the token. I didn't understand. So what is this system? So amazing system here, 10 rupees you have to pay and they will give you one token, and the token you have to give, they will give one plate, and like how in hostel and all, so when you go they will put rice, sambar, like that, they have put, taste was so nice. For 10 rupees it's not 10 rupees worth, it will be like 100 rupees worth, very nice it was. And 10 rupees why they are collecting? In order to have the habit of paying for the food. But the 10 rupees is not at all the cost of that, and they will not be able to recover even 10% of the cost, but they charge that. That's a policy which the company has taken. Now whether that 10 rupees whatever is collected by them will be treated as supply, yes, that will be treated as activity for consideration in the course or furtherance of business. And on the flip side, in case of transaction between employer and employee, it's a related party transaction. Related party transaction, transaction value will not be taken, the value will be taken as the open market value, which means that 10 rupees is not the value for payment of GST. We determine what is the open market value of that food, and on that the company has to pay GST. Is it clear or not? So this is when employer giving any facility to the employee for a consideration, it will become supply under 7(1)(a). The example which I took was this food example, okay. Then suppose if employer gives facilities to the employee, either goods or services, and without consideration, you divide that into two. Is it a perquisite or a gift? You check. What is a perquisite? Which is mentioned in the offer document. If it is not mentioned in the offer document, it will be called as gift. Very simple criteria here. Check whether it is mentioned in the offer document. Yes, mentioned in the offer document, then it will be called as perquisite. Not mentioned in the offer document, then it will be called as gift. And if it is mentioned in the offer document perquisite will form part of salary. So therefore it is excluded from supply. Anything which is given by employer to employee without consideration but mentioned in the offer document is perquisite, which is not covered under supply because it forms part of salary, and we know that salary is excluded from supply. Whereas if it is not mentioned in the offer documents, sir, what are mentioned in offer documents? If this food which is given will be mentioned, cab facility will be mentioned, if any telephone is provided, mobile phone is given to the employee, that will be mentioned, laptop given to the employee, that will also be mentioned, because they have a concept of CTC, cost to company. Even though the take home salary is less, but the cost to company will be some lakhs. So they will tell, so your CTC will be 18 lakhs. Okay, this person also will be so happy, wow, 18 lakhs I am getting. But in that 18 lakhs, his take home salary will be only 12 lakhs. So not that he will get 1.5 lakh and all per month, hardly he will get 1 lakh only. Then what is that 6 lakhs component? There are many things. Lot of facilities which are given by employer to employee, all these are taken as part of the cost to company. Even includes even PF contribution of the employer. That also they will put in the cost to company. So due to that reason, so whatever they say versus whatever they give, there is a huge difference here. So all these will be mentioned, of course will be mentioned in the offer document. Then it is not a supply, leave it. Not mentioned in the offer document but given as a gift, then we need to see what is the value of the gift. If the value of the gift does not exceed 50,000 per annum per employee, then it is not a supply. Sir, first of all, gift means without consideration. Na? Why are you telling that it has supply? Because employer and employee are treated as related parties. And DRIP, R is what? Related party transaction. So related party transaction, even though without consideration, constitutes supply. As employer and employee are related, employer giving gift to employee may come under supply 71C. So they gave a relaxation. What is that? How much should be the value of the gift? Does not exceed 50,000 per annum per employee. Per employee, it's not 50,000 for all employees together, per employee, then it will be excluded from supply. Mostly it will not go, na sir, it will easily go sometimes. See, that's what I am telling you. Don't think like the way you are living itself is the way in which outside industry is, not like that. Because recently also I read one news, one company has given for 100 employees, top performing employees, one car they have given. So one Maruti Suzuki car they have given, which is around some 10 lakhs one car. So they have given, and one other company BMW car they gave to 5 team heads, 1 crore one car is. So they have given that. So and somewhere in Mumbai, one jewelry merchant they gave to all their employees one gold chain of 40 grams. You understood? So yes, people are there like that. You take what is the value of these gifts and all? More than 50,000. This Zoho and all, amazingly they give gifts to their employees. I don't know whether you see in the reels and a lot of people, employees will be posting. For every occasion they will get gift. Zoho is super here. So you should definitely join there, at least for the sake of the gifts that they are giving. So they give a lot of gifts. And it's not that one gift you should see, cumulatively you take in a year. Even for that matter, Deloitte also nicely they will be giving gifts. I don't know for the audit division they are giving or not. Taxation advisory I know that they are giving gifts, lot of gifts they will be giving. So that gifts need not be in these terms, it can be like the t-shirts, then this flask, etc. and all. Like that, if you accumulate all these things in a year, it may go beyond 50,000 rupees. Then will it become supply? Yes. If it does not exceed 50,000 rupees per annum per employee, then it is not a supply. Sir, if it exceeds 50,000, the excess amount is supply or entire amount is supply? Entire amount is treated as supply. Okay. See that. Gifts by employer to employee not exceeding 50,000 in a financial year. But while computing that 50,000, exclude the GST. For example, employer gives a mobile worth 60,000 to the employee, some Samsung mobile, but that 60,000 is inclusive of GST. So you exclude the GST. Say the GST rate included is 18%. So 60,000 into 100 divided by 118. So because it is inclusive of 18%. So if you take out, it is 50,847, more than 50,000. So definitely that will be chargeable to GST. Means it is covered under supply. For example, if the value of the mobile is 55,000 including GST, excluding GST it will be less than 50,000, means it is not a supply. Then also any benefit covered under salary offer document forms part of salary and is excluded from supply. I told you na perk visit. Okay. Now related to this, little bit in detail I have given GST implications on employer-employee relationship. Please see page number 9. Have a look into page number 9. GST implications on employer and employee. Supply by employee to employer, employee to employer, employee to employer, only services. Goods will not be given by employee to employer. Why? Because employment contract is a contract of service. Only service will be given. And it may be divided into two, in the course of employment, not in the course of employment. If it is in the course of employment, excluded from supply. And if it is not in the course of employment, this is the example I gave you, CA who is doing forensic audit and got some 50,000 rupees. Is it in the course of employment or not in the course of employment? Not in the course of employment. In the course or furtherance of business, for a consideration, it will become supply under 71A. What if that employee did the forensic audit, but he is not getting any consideration? Not a supply. Won't it come under 71C? 71C, what and all is there? D, R, I, P. R is what? Related party. Just now I said employer and employee are related. Won't it come under related party transaction and become supply under 71C? That gift is employer to employee. This is employee to employer. These services are provided by the employee in what capacity? Individual capacity. The moment you take not in the course of employment means there is no employer or employee relationship. No employer or employee relationship. As there is no employer-employee relationship, that's why we will not apply 71C. You understood? So 71C to be applied, there should be employer-employee. When it is not in the course of employment, outside the employment contract, where is employer-employee relationship? So 71C will not get attracted, as there is no consideration, not a supply. Again, what if it is not in the course or furtherance of business, some personal activity, again not a supply? Why? 71A, two conditions here. What are the two conditions? For consideration in the course or furtherance of business. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, it will not become supply. Won't it come under 71C? No. Directly itself I said, there is no employer-employee relationship. Therefore, 71C not applicable. So only 71A, correct? In 71A, two conditions. What are the two conditions? Consideration in the course or furtherance of business, then only it will come, otherwise it is not a supply. You understood this chart? Then second chart you see, this also we discussed. Supply by employer to employee, divide into two, for consideration, without consideration. For consideration I gave you the example, canteen facility provided by employer to employee for a nominal amount, supply under 71A. If it is without consideration, that is divided into two, perquisite or gift. Perquisite means covered under salary offer document. Supply or not a supply? Not a supply. Why it is not a supply? Because it will come under employee to employer in the course of employment. Then gift not covered under salary offer document. Now you check what is the value of the gift. If the value of the gift does not exceed 50,000 per annum per employee, again not a supply. If it exceeds 50,000 per annum per employee, entire value treat as supply under 71C. Why 71C? Without consideration. And sir, is it related party transaction? Yes, because employer giving any gift to employee will be in the course of employment. If it is not in the course of employment, then there is some other relationship between employer and employee. You understood? So any gift which is given by employer to employee is in the course of employment only. Okay, other relationships and all we will not talk, that we should not speak about. Okay, so here the moment you see gift given by employer to employee, always assume that it is in the course of employment. You just write down there, note, gift given by employer to employee, gift given by employer to employee, employer to employee, usually assumed to be in the course of employment. Clear? So that's an assumption we need to make, because the other assumption don't take. There are certain assumptions which we need to take, which I will be telling. So because the answers are made in the book based on that only, in your ICA study material. So the contrary assumptions don't take. If you take the contrary assumptions, your answer will not match with the key answer. Of course you are correct, technically correct, but your answer will not match with the key answer, for which you may lose the marks, that's why. The moment when you see gift given by employer to employee, usually it will be in the course of employment. Even otherwise, in exam when you are getting confusion, you know, sir, which side assumption I need to take, which side it is more probable, you take that side as the assumption. Both sides are possible. Which side is more probable, you take that as the assumption, because that's what even ICI also follows. You understood? Because ICI itself is based on certain fundamental pillars. So while recognizing the provision, how they will recognize the provision versus contingent liability, what they will say, more probable provision, less probable contingent liability, correct or not, like that. Which side is more probable, that side only ICI also will take the assumption. So don't get confused. So it may be, gift may be in the course of employment, not in the course of employment, official or personal. Which side more probable? Will take that assumption. It is clearly given, gift given by employer to employee during the marriage of the employee. Don't see 50,000 point, because that is a personal transaction between the employer and the employee. So that is not through the business, that will be personal activity, that will be no way considered. There don't see 50,000 point and all. Is it clear? Then now one more aspect here, concentrate. Employer purchases a mobile, 40,000 rupees plus GST 18%. So 40,000 into 18%, that is 7,200. This mobile is given as gift to the employee. Supplier, not a supplier. Not a supply. Why? It does not exceed 50,000. Which one value? 40,000 does not exceed 50,000, so not a supply. Now employer at the time of purchasing of this mobile would have paid GST 7,200, would have given his GSTIN, because it's official, na? So GSTIN will be given using company's account only, the payment would have been made. So now the invoice will be raised in the name of the company, correct? Can they take ITC? No, they cannot take ITC. Why they cannot take ITC? Because we have one blocked credits point which says that any goods purchased and distributed as gifts or free samples cannot be taken as ITC. So therefore in this example, when employer purchases a mobile phone, gives it to the employee, so it's a gift, so employer cannot take ITC on this. Understood? But practically, sir, how department will know? They will not know. So then people are taking, lot of people are taking, okay? And what will happen is that department will conduct the audit. At the time of audit, they will ask, okay, this mobile whatever is purchased, where is this mobile? Gave it to employee, sir. Why you gave it to employee? As a gift I gave, sir. Then how can you enjoy the ITC? At the time only they will come to know. Generally they will not come to know, department will not come to know. Only during audit, when they take up the audit, they will come to know. And at that time they will disallow this input tax credit. So we end up reversing along with interest, okay? Audit is something which now and then is happening in every place. GST audit officers, we study na, auditor is like watchdog, not a bloodhound and all. So, but reverse it is, GST audit is bloodhound only, not watchdog, okay. So, like hound only they are poaching, and here and there, left, right, center, they are not leaving anyone, everywhere. They are going and they are doing the audit, because what to do? It is our fate only that they have given GST audit work for us. And what we did, we begged. So client not given timely. So please extend the time limit for filing the audit report, like that and all. We started begging. Who? Finance minister. One time, two times she gave. Thereafter she said, no, I will not give. It is your job only to file. If you are not, you file late and collect the late fee from the client. And but what we need to do, we need to impress our client. So therefore, we started fighting with the government. And we asked Piyush Goyal, who is some other ministry, and we asked him and to put pressure on finance minister. Basically, she is a lady with ego. She is a female, that too with ego. And you are, really not satisfying her ego. Then what she will do? Okay, you cannot do, no? Remove provision, audit gone. Immediate next budget session, audit removed. She removed here. And what we all did? Nothing. ICI should have fought. They did not, because they are busy in central council elections. Okay. Timely she removed. Okay. So election time, our people are so busy in contesting in the elections and all. Politics to the core in CA Institute. Okay. So first they will safeguard their seat, then they will think of anything else. Okay. But in this meanwhile, what happened? One GST audit gone, and last it's like for one audit firm, normal average audit firm, around some 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs was the billing in the name of GST audit gone. Okay. And what she did? She appointed IRS, many IRS officers were pending, postings not given. She created GST audit wing, at a time 4,000 officers posting she gave. Now these audit officers, what they will be doing? So they will come and start doing the audit. Everything they are taking, bring. Where is the mobile? Not there? Okay, we will disallow the credit. And interest 18% per annum. From when? From when you have utilized, from that day till now, pay. You understood? Sometimes interest itself will be more than ITC what we availed. Okay. So that much, 18%, yeah, rate of GST also 18%, interest rate also 18%. You understood? On that ITC 18%, 1 year. Suppose if it is 4 year backwards, means 18% into 4 years, gone. So it's like huge amount we need to pay. On the top of that, penalty also. Depends upon which recovery they will be making. If it is 73 recovery, 10% of ITC wrongly availed is the penalty. If it is 74, 100% of the ITC is the penalty. Okay. So that's why follow the provisions. You understood? Because you will tell, sir, who will know, sir? No one will know today. But once you are caught, you have to pay. Okay. So therefore, don't ask me this question next time. I myself am telling you that what we discuss in class is all the law, how we need to be a law abiding citizen and all those things. Okay. But loopholes are always there. It has its own pros and cons. Okay. Then that is about this. Suppose, sir, if mobile is purchased and the value of the mobile is 60,000, on that GST paid 18%, so 60,000 into 18%, 10,800. Now this mobile is given as gift to the employee. Now can they take ITC? Is it supply or not a supply? Supply, 71C. So can the employer take ITC? Yes. So just now you said block the credit. Block the credit has an exception. What is that? If such gifts or free sample constitutes supply, then they can take ITC on the inward supply. Okay. So please make note of this. If you have space here, you write here. Otherwise, you write in the notebook. Gift by employer to employee value does not exceed 50,000 per annum. Now is it supply or not a supply? Not a supply. Therefore, ITC not available on gift purchased by employer. Then gift by employer to employee value greater than 50,000 per annum. Is it supply? Yes, supply under section 71C. Whether GST payable by the employer? Yes, it is supply, na GST payable. Will it be recovered from the employee? Usually no. I am giving gift and telling GST alone you pay, or like this means how it. So usually no, and the employer will pay out of his pocket, but employer can take ITC on the gift purchased. So literally it is like net to net. Whatever GST they paid, they take as ITC, that much they create as liability. So they will net off. Okay. So therefore ITC available on gift purchased by employer. Sir, how this value will be determined? This value will be determined in terms of rule 28. We have one rule. So in that rule 28, we take open market value or like, kind and quality or cost plus 10%, like that various valuations we have. In terms of rule 28, we determine this value. Rule 28, just right now, later when we read that you will be able to know. Then next, so whenever you see this exclusion from supply, you write there, you call it as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Then here in government services, services provided to business entities, one point is there, na? So who will be called as a business entity? Any person engaged in business is known as business entity. Need not be company, it can be even individual also. If individual receives services from the government in his individual capacity, it is other than business entity. If the same individual receives the service from the government in his business capacity, professional capacity, then it will be called as services received by business entity. You understood or not? So business entity means any person, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI firm, everyone will come. See that business entity means any person engaged in doing business is known as a business entity. And we completed all these things. Now we are moving on to some important definitions or points. We have seen inclusions and exclusions. Related to these inclusions, we have certain definitions. These definitions will not be directly tested in exam. You will not get at final level, impossible. They will not ask any question on definition. So therefore, it's not that you need to by heart these definitions, but you need to understand this definition, because in exam somewhere you may have to apply these points. So therefore, the objective is not to by heart, just to read and understand once, that is sufficient. So see this meaning of goods. Goods is defined under section 2 clause 52. Goods means what? Any kind of movable property, and goods includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to a farming part of land agreed to be served before supplier under a contract of supply. So goods means any kind of movable property. You know that immobile property will not come under goods. And goods includes actionable claims. Already I told you what is the meaning of actionable claim. 4 conditions. Number 1, you should have right to receive a benefit or recover a debt, and which is legally enforceable and can be transferred from one person to another person, and the holder of such right is entitled to receive the benefit or recover the debt. And includes this: growing crops, grass or things attached to a farming part of land agreed to be severed under a contract of supply. Severed means what? Cut. For example, I have a teakwood plantation. Today I enter into contract with you to deliver this teakwood after 6 months. But today I entered into contract. At the time when I entered into contract with you, it is in what nature? Immovable in nature. But the time of delivery, I am going to cut it and deliver. So should I treat it as sale of goods today itself? Yes. Today itself I need to treat as sale of goods, even though it is immovable in nature at the time of entering into contract. Then next, goods excludes money and securities. money and securities are not treated as goods, because so money, whenever we are giving, exchanging, so we cannot say I am selling 500 rupee note and you are selling 100 rupee note, etc. and all. We cannot say that. So that's why transaction in money is not goods. Even transaction in securities is not coming under goods. And what is the meaning of money? Even service definition you see there. This money and securities are excluded from service definition also. Below that you have service definition. Service also excludes money and securities. So money and securities are neither goods nor services. But if you get in exam, so securities, transaction in securities, you should write it as neither supply of goods nor supply of service, or not a supply. Not a supply. Only if it is excluded from supply, you should write it as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. And money is defined under section 2 clause 75. Money means Indian currency or foreign currency, and money includes any instrument recognized by RBI. Money excludes currency held for numismatic value. Now I am selling some cryptocurrency. Say I have one Ethereum coin, and the value of one Ethereum coin is around some 1.5 lakh, and I am selling you one Ethereum coin for which you have given me 1,50,000 rupees. Is it covered under money or not? Is it covered under money? No. Why? Cryptocurrency is not recognized by RBI, so it is not money. When it is not money, means it may become goods. See, goods minus is money. Money minus is cryptocurrency. Correct? Minus into minus plus. You understood? An exclusion to the exclusion is inclusion. So therefore cryptocurrency will come under goods. So therefore sale of crypto treated as supply of goods, right there. Sale of crypto cryptocurrency hyphen treated as sale of goods. Then next, sale of old coins. What about sale of old coins? Is old coins covered under money? No. Money excludes currency held for numismatic value, means it is not in Indian legal tender today. Held for numismatic value means as a hobby you are keeping it, but it is not having any Indian legal tender. For example, 2000 rupee note. I have one 2000 rupee note. Even today I have. Okay. So, but what is the use of it? I just fold and kept it. Okay. So it is of no use, because I cannot exchange it anywhere. No one will accept it because it is not in circulation. But I just kept. Maybe in future if I need to show to someone that there was 2000 rupee note like that. So I just kept it, and this will not be coming under Indian legal tender. So I am just keeping it for its numismatic value. Now it so happens after some 50 years it will have some value. The old currency notes and old coins are being sold today for some value. So I remember someone sold this quarter anna. Quarter anna. In past they used to call it as annas, half anna, quarter anna, like that. Okay. So this quarter anna he has sold. You know, quarter anna is what? Less than 1 paise actually it is. Less than a paise. Okay. And it has been sold for 5000 rupees in OLX. Yes, it is available. Lot of people are listing the old coins in OLX and people are buying it. 5000 rupees. So whether it will be coming under sale of goods and chargeable to GST? Yes. Sale of old coins treated as sale of goods. So money means Indian currency or foreign currency, any instrument recognized by RBI but excludes currency held for numismatic value, old coins. Securities not defined in GST, but generally securities as per Security Contract Regulation Act. What will come under securities? Shares, debentures, bonds, mutual fund units. So these are all called as securities, even derivatives. So on that there is no GST. Now look into meaning of service. Meaning of service. Service means anything other than goods. Amazing definition. So anything other than goods is service. So sale of immovable property, where it will come? Service. Sale of land is supply of service. Sale of building is supply of service. How, sir? Land and building is immovable. Immovable will not come under goods. Anything which is not goods is service. So then on sale of land, sale of building, it is supply of service? Yes. In exam, be careful, in MCQ they will test. And which of the following is supply of service? They will write sale of land, sale of building, repairs, okay, repairs to machinery, and D, all of the above. And you will laugh at them. Stupid idiot, all of the above they gave. So option C only correct. Repairs to machinery only supply of service. Okay, but all of the above is the answer. Why all of the above is the answer? Boss, sale of land and sale of building is supply of service in GST. Sir, high on weed while drafting this, okay. So therefore, you know, how sale of land and building, that's why they gave exclusion from supply. Sale of land and sale of building is excluded from supply. But if the building consideration is received before completion certificate or first occupation, it is covered under supply, treated as service. I told you works contract service because of this. You understood? So sale of land, right there. Sale of land, sale of building, sale of business, treated as supply of service. Sale of land, sale of land, sale of building, or sale of business, it will come under service, because anything other than goods is treated as service. Then service definition includes, you see, generally money is neither goods nor services, correct? But transaction in money for a separate consideration is treated as service. Example, $1 equals to 80 rupees. And when you exchange $100 for 80 rupees per dollar, that is 8,000 rupees. Okay. So is it supply or not a supply? Not a supply. $1 is how much? 80. You gave $100 and you got that much of Indian rupees. So neither goods nor services. But the one who is exchanging it collected a currency conversion fee or markup fee. Usually today, lot of people in India, so already Britishers came and they made us lazy in one way. Now US people are making us lazy in another way in the name of YouTube. Okay. What they do is that daily morning to night they think of posting some video only. So because through YouTube they will make revenue and there is no bar, there is no line. First they started speaking about themselves. Now they speak about their personal lives. Okay. Initially travel vlog, thereafter couple vlog. Okay. Now home tour. This went to bathroom tour. Bedroom tour also over. One thing is only left. Okay. So, you know, where they are going here? They are not leaving anything here. Everything they are posting. What happens in their life? Nothing happens also. They create a scene and they are posting here. Okay. So they are living in an artificial world. And why? Because lot of idiots who have lot of time, they will sit and watch this. And for watching this, so they will get money. And this money will be in dollars. And that will be paid to their bank account. So therefore, money received in foreign currency, but credited to their bank account in Indian rupees. Full amount will be credited? No. Bank will be charging 1.5% as currency conversion fee. This is called as additional consideration. That 1.5% is treated as supply of service. Understood? So that is the meaning of transaction in money for a separate consideration. You just write down there, example, currency conversion fee. Example, currency conversion fee. Then next one, facilitating or arranging transaction in securities. What is this? Generally, sale of shares is neither goods nor services, but there is an intermediary who is facilitating the sale of shares. That intermediary, that is stockbroker or depository, they will be getting some commission, even underwriting commission. This and all will come under facilitating or arranging transaction in securities, which is neither goods nor services are covered under services, are covered under services. So, stockbroker services and depository services. So, this is about the meaning of goods and meaning of services. Clear here? So, actually they will not ask, write a short note on meaning of goods, write a short note on meaning of service. Never, never. Only one theory question for you in exam. That is question number 6. That too in question number 6, nowadays they are not asking direct theory. So, application based theory only they are asking. So, do not by heart anything in indirect taxes. Study and go. The moment you see the question, you will get the answer. That is so sure. Okay. You see the questions, you will get to know. So, you do not have to by heart anything here. But this kind of tricky points and all, they will be testing in exam. Then next. Understood about goods and services definition? Yes. Now move on to consideration. What is generally consideration means? Something in return, quid pro quo, and that consideration can be monetary or non-monetary. Monetary means so money, and non-monetary means kind. That non-monetary can be in the form of goods or in the form of services. For example, I take classes, rather than collecting fees, I may collect 1 gram gold from each one of you. Possible. So, that will be called as in kind. You understood? In olden days, they used to collect that way only. Okay. So, that in this Gurukulam, etc. and all, fruits and vegetables, rice, and whatever house they need, all kind of provisions and all will be taken. In today's context, will it become consideration? Yes, it will be consideration, but consideration in kind. So, consideration can be monetary or non-monetary, and non-monetary can be in the form of goods or in the form of service. Service examples are like you attend my classes, fast track batch, no need to pay fees, but you have to go and tell that Tharun sir, amazingly he takes, like him no one can take indirect tax classes. Like that you should tell. So, whatever marketing that you are doing for me is a consideration, you understood, but I am collecting fees from all of you. So, I am not depending that way. So, therefore, you do not have to speak anything about me, please. Do not speak good, do not speak bad, leave it. You prepare, you be successful, that is enough. You understood or not? Huh? So, lot of people will survive that way only, but I do not want to talk about that. So, goods are services. So, consideration can be in the form of monetary or non-monetary. Again, non-monetary can be in the form of goods or in the form of services. Then, see this. Consideration excludes subsidy from central government or state government. What is subsidy generally? Grant. Generally, somewhere in account you would have studied government grants, na? Like that. Grant is called as subsidy. And this subsidy basically is ad hoc. Ad hoc in the sense like there is no guarantee. Example, LPG subsidy you take. Is LPG subsidy guarantee? Initially they gave. Then Modi ji asked us to surrender. Some of the people surrendered subsidy, some of the people did not. Thereafter they surrendered the subsidy itself. You understood? So, no one is receiving subsidy today, and therefore this subsidy means it is ad hoc. There is no guarantee, it is not a written contract that I will pay. So, subsidy is some ad hoc amount which will be receivable by a person, can be from government or from non-government. But if it is received from central government or state government, it is excluded, it will not be treated as consideration. If it is received from any other person, then it will be treated as consideration. I will give you an example of subsidy from government. If you are buying a electric scooter, you will get a subsidy from the government, not you, the dealer. The dealer. So for usually electric scooters and all will start with some 1 lakh, 1 lakh 20, like that the price range will be. On that around some 10 to 15,000 rupees, so the dealer will get the subsidy, and therefore they call it as like a cashback. They call it as like cashback, but actually that is literally subsidy which they will be getting. But what they will do is that, so they will show that as a deduction, and we don't have to pay that. We don't have to pay, literally we don't have to pay, which means 1,20,000 you take. In that 15,000 they are getting, which means how much we need to pay? Only 1,05,000. So this 15,000 rupees they will be getting a subsidy from central government. Should they pay GST on that 15,000? No. So they should pay GST only on 1,05,000. Understood? Then another example for subsidy from other than CGST is you take this car manufacturers. Lot of car manufacturers are there in India, Hyundai or Mahindra, Maruti Suzuki, like that, lot of Tata. These car manufacturers will get a subsidy from the tire manufacturer if they are using the tires of the tire manufacturer. And this subsidy scheme was started by MRF. What MRF did is that they know that the sale of their tires depend upon the original equipment manufacturer. So car manufacturer uses, say for example you purchase one car which has a MRF tire, and now you need to replace the tire, because nowadays tubeless tires the life is only 3 years. You need to replace that tire. When you replace the tire, will you replace MRF tire or Bridgestone or Apollo or Seat? MRF. Why? Because 3 tires already MRF. This cannot be some other brand, correct? You will not like that. So you will replace MRF. Now you understood their future business lies in which place. So therefore not everyone will replace all the 4 tires at a time. They will replace one by one only. Whichever tire got damaged, so that they will replace. Multiple punctures and all, they will replace that tire, correct? So which means if you are a car manufacturer, if you use my company tires, I will give you a subsidy. I will give you subsidy. Why I will give you subsidy? Because I know my future sales is in that. And that's where these people are making the sales. MRF becomes so much big company this way only. Right from the beginning, Suzuki car means MRF tire only, and Mahindra means MRF only. Now others are following that today, and they started giving subsidies to the car manufacturers. So now the car manufacturer got subsidy from a tire manufacturer for using their tires. Is this subsidy from central government or state government or others? Others. Will it be treated as consideration? Yes. Then refundable security deposit. Refundable security deposit not treated as consideration. It is excluded. Why? Because that security deposit will be returned to the person, recipient. Example, you are taking 6 months rent as security deposit from a tenant, and that 6 months security deposit for a commercial property, generally rent of the commercial property will be taxable, GST payable. Whether the security deposit also chargeable to GST? No, because it is refundable in nature. What if it is a non-refundable security deposit? Will that be treated as consideration? Yes, that will be treated as consideration. Sir, then security deposit is a loophole? Of course, yes, it's a loophole. I'll tell you how. So for example, how much is the fees that you paid for this fast track batch? Plus GST, excluding GST, you tell me. 5,500 plus GST, correct? Now you pay me 1 lakh, and after 6 months I will return you that 1 lakh. You got it? And in this 6 months, on this 1 lakh, easily I will be able to earn 6%. Easily. So 12% and all in a year return easily I am getting. Mutual funds is there, stock market is there, safe investment. So 12% is actually very less. 18%, 28% and all people are generating. So per annum 12%, 6 months 6%. So 1 lakh you give me, 6,000 rupees I will earn interest. I will return you 1 lakh after 6 months, so that you don't have any risk also. And this 6,000 what I got, no need to pay GST on that. Why? 1 lakh first I collected as refundable security deposit. I am returning you, no GST on 1 lakh. This 6,000 is interest. Interest on loans, advances, deposits is exempted. You understood? Yes, 6% interest easily I will get. interest on loans, advances, deposits. So therefore it is exempted. I don't have to pay. You understood? So it's a big loophole na, and Reliance already used this loophole for their Jio Mobile. Jio Mobile they gave 1,500 rupees, and 3 years if you return the mobile they will give you 1,500 rupees. So now the 1,500 rupees not chargeable to GST, and they sold n number of mobiles like that. No need to pay GST. Furthermore, on this mobiles they will claim depreciation also under section 32. Income tax benefit also they got. You understood? So this is actually a loophole. I don't know why they have given this. Refundable security deposit. Then, so consideration includes what? Monetary, non-monetary, and non-monetary can be in the form of goods, in the form of services, and consideration excludes subsidy from central government or state government or refundable security deposits. Now, consideration can be received from recipient or from any other person. What we need to see is presence of consideration. I will give an example for this. Generally, this car manufacturers or two-wheeler manufacturers, they sell through the dealers. And whenever you buy a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, you give it for free after sale service. Is it really free? No, it is not really free, because the manufacturer already collected some amount from you towards the free after sale service, and whichever dealer is doing the free after sale service, to that dealer manufacturer will make the payment. That's the reason why those dealers will collect the coupon from you. They will be giving you one manual. In that manual 4 or 5 coupons will be there, free after sale service coupons. Whichever dealer you give your vehicle for servicing, free after sale service, so the dealer will tear the coupon and take it, and they will claim the amount from the manufacturer. In this free after sale service, are they getting consideration? Yes. From whom? Some other person. So who is the supplier? Dealer. And who is the recipient? You. But they are getting money from their manufacturer. So even though consideration is received from some other person, but presence of consideration is only relevant. Another example, I am providing services to holding company, but I got consideration from the subsidiary company. So I have a contract with holding company, I got money from subsidiary company, it's okay. Consideration is present in the transaction, so GST will be payable. Not necessary that we should receive the consideration from the recipient. Understood? Then next. Consideration should be in respect of, in response to, or for inducement of supply of goods or services. What is the meaning of in respect of? In respect of means I am telling that this is the service and this much is the fees, or this is the product, this much is the price. This is called as in respect of. Whereas in response to and for inducement of, usually we see in the movie industry. Whenever a movie becomes super hit, so then the hero of that movie or director of the movie will get car and or luxury car and all as gift from the producer. This is a trend, okay. So what happens is that car which is given by the producer to the hero or the director is in response to directing the movie or acting in the movie. You understood? Had Rajinikanth not acted in Jailer movie, will that Maran, Sun TV, Sun Pictures will have given that car? No. So the car which is given to Rajinikanth is for acting in the movie, which is in response to providing the services. Is it clear or not? So therefore that will be treated as consideration. If they do it between 4 walls, no problem, but they shoot that na, and they release it, right? So like how you are watching, GST department also will be watching, correct or not? So if Rajinikanth is not reporting that in GST or 3B of that month, he will receive a notice. Definitely he will receive. If he is not reporting, he should report that whatever car, and in the news and all it will come, 1 crore worth of car is given as gift like that, correct? 1 crore, GST department, 1 crore, 28%, 28 lakhs, compensation says 22 lakhs, 50 lakhs he should pay. You understood? Who should pay? Rajinikanth should pay. So therefore it is treated as his consideration. Why it is treated as consideration, sir? It is in response to. But the car manufacturer will pay anyhow GST, sir. Again, why he need to pay? That's how the law says. So already GST may be there, but subsequently when you transfer, again GST will come na. But input tax credit not available. So in this case, input tax credit is available to Sun Pictures. You know how? First Sun Pictures paid GST, and that car, what they are doing? They are giving it as gift. As they are giving it as gift, they cannot take ITC. Instead, if they give it on a lease model, how much lease? 10 rupees lease. You understood? 10 rupees lease pa to Rajinikanth. If Sun Pictures given that car on lease for 10 rupees, it will come under further supply. If it comes under further supply, exception to the blocked credit which says that generally motor vehicle is block credit, but when it is used for further supply, they can take ITC. You understood? For that, Rajinikanth has to sign one contract. What is that? Lease agreement. How much lease agreement? Any amount, some nominal amount lease agreement he can sign. So then, sir, car will not be owned by Rajinikanth, sir. Car will be owned by Sun Pictures now. No, for that also one loophole is there. That is, at the time of registration, there are three areas. One is ownership, second is hypothecation, third is lease. So in the name of lease, when you are registering, the lessee will have the ownership of the vehicle, and again it will be transferred back to the lessor. You understood or not? So Rajinikanth can still become the owner. Even the lease also, he can become the owner. So they should have structured this transaction, but they did not do that. Consequently, Sun Pictures will not be able to take ITC on the car purchase, and Rajinikanth is getting this in response to acting in the movie. Already he gets some 100 crores for acting in the movie. On that 100 crores he need to pay 18%, plus this 1.5 crore or 2 crore worth of car also he need to report it and pay GST. You got it? That is in response to. Then for the inducement of means, sometimes, you know, one actress and all will not be willing to act next to a hero who might be some grandfather's age, and all of a sudden he want to become a hero, and he will only produce a movie. So now the heroine will say, no, I will not act next to you because my market will be gone. So for that, this producer will say, who is also a hero, he will say, okay, I will give one shop to you, so you act in the movie. So now the heroine is being induced by way of giving something to sign the movie. After signing the movie, she will anyhow get the remuneration. So that inducement will come under consideration, and even for signing the contract, remuneration also will come under consideration. Remuneration will come under the concept of in respect of, and the gift what she has received to sign the movie will come under inducement of. Understood? Then activity without consideration or consideration without activity is not a supply under 7(1)(a). So activity without consideration, example, charities. You are doing something free and you are not getting any consideration, so it is not a supply under 7(1)(a). So every 6 months I will be posting rocket revision videos in my YouTube channel. So it will be activity without consideration. Really pa, I am not getting any consideration in that. So therefore it will be coming under supply or not a supply? Not a supply. Suppose if I get YouTube revenue, it will become supply under 7(1)(a). You understood? And sir, what if I disable the YouTube ads? It is not a supply, correct? Now, sir, because of that, a student will come and join, sir. So therefore, you are getting a consideration. There is no certainty. Am I right? For example, intermediate also, I will be posting free revision video or free fast track batch like that. First, the student should clear CA intermediate. First point. Second, after clearing CA intermediate, they should go for articleship and they should be enrolling for CA final. And after enrolling for CA final, they should come and join my classes. How many uncertain events are there, you know, in this? And therefore, there is no guarantee. That's what I gave you this example to make you understand that consideration should be certain. Otherwise, it will not be treated as consideration. Are you getting this? Sir, one person so keeps one bowl and sings songs, sir. Okay. And a lot of people who are going by put some coins in the bowl, sir. Can we say that whatever coins that is there in the bowl is consideration? No. Because he sings, there is no guarantee that money will come. You understood? So consideration should be certain. Then only it will be treated as consideration. So that is this point. Activity without consideration. Then sir, suppose if that money which is collected in the bowl can be brought under in response to, yes, Even though here consideration is not certain, but it will not come under in respect of, it may come under in response to. Why it will come under in response to? Why is he getting that money in the bowl? Because he sang. You got it? That is the power of this in response to or for inducement of. Many things will come under this, okay. Then consideration without activity is also not a supply. Example, donations. Consideration without activity, so is not a supply. Even alimony is also consideration without activity here. Alimony you know na, divorce. At the time of divorce, so one person, that is husband, has to pay some money to the wife. Will that alimony come under consideration? No. Why it will not come under consideration? Consideration should be in respect of, in response to, there is nothing, for the inducement of, okay. Where activity will be there, yeah, nothing, there is a breakup, you understood. So therefore there is no relationship and all, so it will not at all be treated as consideration. That is the meaning of this. It is like donation, you understood or not? So consideration without activity is not treated as consideration and not a supply under 7(1)(a). So donations basically not chargeable to GST, but donations are divided into two: conditional donations, unconditional donation. Please concentrate. Conditional donation means, for that donation which I am receiving, I have an obligation to do something in return to the person from whom I am receiving. It is called as conditional donation. Unconditional donation means I am receiving some money and I don't have any obligation to do anything in return to that person, then it is called as unconditional donation. You understood? Now you are donating some money to a temple and you are asking the temple authority to display your name. First your name, then only God's name. First your name only should come. Then it will be what? Conditional or unconditional? Conditional. So it will become supply. That consideration, that donation will become consideration. How, sir? So you are giving some money and they have an obligation in response to that, correct? So therefore it will be treated as consideration and that will become supply under 7(1)(a). You are giving the donation and you are not insisting them to display your name, but as a gratitude they displayed your name. Conditional or unconditional? Unconditional. So which means it is not treated as consideration and not a supply. But one CBIC circular is given in this regard. If display of name gives a business advantage to the donor, so I am asking them to display the name, no doubt it is conditional donation. I am not asking them to display the name, but as a gratitude they displayed the name. But that display of name gives me a business advantage. Then it will be treated as conditional donation, deemed as conditional donation. Example, donated by Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. Is there any business advantage? No. Donated by Mr. Sachin Tendulkar, in brackets cricketer, there is a business advantage. Why? Because they are giving the advantage to that person, business advantage. Donated by Mr. Paras Jain, no business advantage. Donated by Mr. Paras Jain, in brackets proprietor Messrs. Jain Jewelers, business advantage. Are you understanding this? Then donated by, so this Sorting Hat Technologies Private Limited, one company. We don't know what is that company. That company is Unacademy. So that Sorting Hat Technologies Private Limited owns a brand name called as Unacademy. Okay. So therefore donated by the company name, no business advantage. Donated by the company name, in brackets Unacademy, business advantage is there. Donated by Fangs Technologies Private Limited, we don't know what it is. Donated by Fangs Technologies Private Limited, in brackets Vivo. Vivo is the brand name of that company. Fangs Technologies Private Limited, business advantage. Sometimes the company name and brand name will be same. These are the two examples which differentiates company name with the brand name. But sometimes the company name and the brand name will be same. Donated by India Cements Limited. Company name also, brand name also, both are same. Donated by MRF Limited. Company name also, brand name also same. So then definitely there is a business advantage. Is it clear? So whenever display of name gives a business advantage to the donor, it is treated as conditional donation and it will become supply. See that. Donations, conditional, unconditional. Conditional means obligation on supplier to do something, unconditional means no obligation on supplier to do anything. Conditional donation treated as consideration, unconditional donation not treated as consideration. And conditional donation becomes supply under 7(1)(a), unconditional donations not a supply. Now display of donor name in the premises out of gratitude but not as a compulsion. If donor name is displayed anywhere in the premises against the donation, if individual name is displayed, no business advantage, so not a supply. If display of name gives business advantage to the donor, it is supply under 7(1)(a). You understood? And it will be treated as sponsorship services. So it will be categorized as sponsorship services, and whenever we discuss sponsorship service, there I connect this point. In RCM we will be discussing that. Okay. Now concentrate. Here there is something called as corpus donations, or I collect it for a particular purpose. Okay. Is it conditional or unconditional? Say for example, I am approaching you and I am asking you, I want to construct one reading hall for CA students, because lot of CA students don't have a proper place to sit and read, and because of that, you know, they will not be able to sit at their room or house, etc. They will not be able to study properly. So I want to construct a free study hall, and for that I am asking you donation. You gave me money. Conditional or unconditional? Conditional or unconditional? Unconditional. Unconditional, because every donation will be for a purpose only. Without purpose, if I ask you money, then it is called as begging. Yes, begging only. I want to construct that, so I need money. Everyone will show the purpose and collect. Just because for a purpose it is collected is not conditional. For collecting the money, if I have an obligation to do to you something, then it is conditional. You understood? To do to you, to the person who is paying the donation. I have an obligation to construct that. That is not conditional. I have an obligation to do something in return to you. That is only called as conditional. Then look into the next definition, meaning of person. So person under GST includes central government and state government. So we have person definition under income tax, individual, HUF, AOP, etc. So same definition of person under income tax. Extra is that central government and state government is also there. So that is the meaning of person under GST. Then look into the next definition, meaning of business. So business definition, remember, almost all activities will come under business, majorly. What is not coming under business is personal activities. Got it? What will not come under business is personal activities. Otherwise, majority of the activities will come under business. Okay, easily we can remember. But in exam, sometimes we may have to write under business where it will fall. For that reason only we need to know the definition. Otherwise, majority of the activities will be business only. You see that business definition is divided into two, general activities and specific activities. These specific activities, whether it is covered under the general meaning of business or not, it will always be treated as business. So these specific activities will always be treated as business. This is the general meaning of the business. These specific activities may or may not be covered under general meaning. First look into the general meaning. Trade, commerce, manufacture. What is the difference between these three? Trade is sale and manufacture is conversion of raw material into FG, and commerce is what? Service sector. Service sector will come under commerce. Banking, insurance, warehousing, transportation, that will come under commerce. So trade sector, manufacturing sector, service sector. Okay. Then next, profession, occasion, adventure. So all these three is based on skill. I have a skill, and that skill I obtained by way of qualification. Using that skill, I earn some money. That is called as profession. CA, profession. Doctor, profession. Advocate, profession, because that will be obtained by way of qualification. 20 years a person may be working in a CA firm, but he can never become a CA. You understood? He will be working in CA firm, he knows everything, even he knows beyond what partner knows, but even then he cannot sign na. So means there is something which is by way of qualification, that is called as profession. Even doctor, so nurse will have the knowledge more than the doctor, but nurse cannot perform the surgery, doctor only can perform the surgery. That is what a qualification. So then only they will be able to get the skill, that is called as profession. You understood? Then occasion, so the skill obtained not by way of qualification but by way of experience, it is known as occasion. So performing magic show, that's a skill, they earn some money. Are they getting it by way of qualification? Will they go to Hogwarts school and study with Harry Potter? No, no. So therefore that is not. And acting, acting again occasion, it will not be profession, but sir they will go to acting school. You tell me which acting school, I will also go and come. Next year I should become hero, possible? Cutout is not there, sir. So therefore not everyone can become hero, sir. So just because people go to acting school they cannot become hero and all, that is not a qualification here. So out of experience only they will be able to do that. So that is occasion. Then adventure, adventure is you got a skill, you got a skill and you are using that skill, but you are not living on this, as a passion you are doing it, that is known as adventure. Example, a chartered accountant, practicing is known as profession, practicing is known as profession. Acting in movie and earn some money is adventure. Of course CA acting in movie is adventure. You understood? That is why they call it as adventure. When you do something which is completely apart from your profession, it is adventure. Why it is called as adventure is because of this reason only. And then doctor performing magic show, adventure. Being a doctor is profession, when they do magic show it is adventure, completely different from their skill. An actor makes some painting and sell the painting, adventure. Why? Painting is completely different from the acting, so we call it as adventure. Are you understanding why we call it as adventure? So because it is completely different from whatever is your profession and you do that as a passion, so we call it as adventure. Understood? Then wager, wager refers to this betting activities, then any other similar activity. So tell me what is the general meaning of business? First three, trade, commerce, manufacture. Next three, profession, occasion, adventure, wager or any other similar activity. Its incidental or ancillary is also covered. Example, a chartered accountant authors a book and he gets a royalty income by authoring the book. How to save tax, like that one book is authored and some royalty income is earned, whether it will be coming under incidental or ancillary to profession? Yes. Sir, what is the difference between incidental or ancillary versus adventure? Related to your skill, if you do something, it is called as incidental or ancillary. Altogether a different skill is called as adventure. A chartered accountant taking classes, writing books and get some money is extension to his services. So it will come under incidental or ancillary. All of a sudden if he does something different, then it will be called as adventure. Understood? Then irrespective of the volume or frequency, say for example I started one restaurant and you all came and ate food in that restaurant. I am only the chef of that restaurant, and next day you got diarrhea, vomiting, etc. and all. I have shut down this restaurant. Now for one day I made sales, now should I pay GST on that? Yes, irrespective of the volume or frequency. Then whether or not for a pecuniary benefit. Example, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam will sell laddu, they sell laddu, and one laddu, I don't know what is the price, how much? 50 rupees, huh? 50 rupees, 50 rupees they are selling. Is it business motive or non-business motive? Profit motive or not for profit motive? Not for profit motive, really not for profit motive. Oh, you mean to say Mr. Venkat has to sell laddus for his living? Come on, he is having money here, he can buy many countries here, that much money he is having. You understood? Crores and crores. We cannot count also. That much money is there. By selling laddus, you don't have to survive and all. So therefore, this is not for profit motive. Even then there is a trade. So it will come under business. But it is exempted. That's a different story. First it is business, but it is exempted. Sale of food preparations in a temple is exempted. But it will come under business or not? Yes. Then dairies and calendars will be sold by some trust. Lot of charitable trust will be selling dairies, calendars, etc. Will it come under business? Yes. Even though it is not for profit motive, whether or not for a pecuniary benefit. Understood? Then this is the general meaning of business, whereas there are some specified activities which will always be treated as business. In order to avoid disputes, they have given these activities as specified activities. Number 1, entry tickets, entry to any premises, let it be entry to park or entry to museum or entry to cinema theatre, entry to temple, everything will be coming under business. Sir, entry to temple is also covered under business? Yes. But is there any exemption to that? Yes. We have a charitable activity. So charitable activity, advancement of religion, spirituality, yoga is a charitable activity. Under spirituality, they will classify the entry to temples. So due to that reason, temple tickets, temple entry tickets and all will be exempted. But the temple should be registered as a trust. What if the temple is not registered as a trust? They will not get the charitable activity exemption. You understood? But that is exemption. What we are talking about is business or not. It is business. Then holding an office accepted in the course or furtherance of trade, vocation or profession. There is a practicing chartered accountant who become president of ICI, and for becoming president of ICI, they are holding a position, they get some money. Yes or no? President, chairman or vice chairman, vice president, because of holding that position they get some money. It's not free, free service they will not be doing, they will definitely get some money. So whether that will be covered under business? Yes. CA elected as president of ICI. Then next, supply of goods or services, and one more example for the previous one, there is an actor who becomes the head of the movie artist association. For becoming head of the movie artist association, they derive some money. Covered under business? Yes. Then suppose if there is a chartered accountant who becomes, secretary to a temple. Secretary to a temple. And because of acting as secretary to the temple, they get some money. Whether it will be covered under business or not? No. No. Because it is not in the course or furtherance of their profession, occasion or trade. It is not related to their profession, due to that reason. A doctor becoming head of the doctors association is? Yes. A doctor becoming treasurer of a temple is? No. So related to their profession, if they hold an office, then only it will come. Then supply of goods or service in connection with commencement or closure of business. At the time of commencement of business or closure of business, you make some supply. For example, I am purchasing some 10 ACs for my restaurant, but actually these 10 ACs are not required, just 3 ACs are required. Remaining 7 ACs I purchase because if I buy 10, I will get the wholesale price. These 7 ACs I am selling. Is sale of AC my business? No, but it is in connection with commencement of business, so it will also come under business. At the time of closure of business, I will sell the assets of the business. Is sale of assets my business? No, but that sale of assets is in terms of closure of business, therefore it will also be treated as business. Then provision of facilities or benefits to its members by a club, society or association will come under business. For example, there is an apartment owners association, resident welfare association. All the flat owners will form an association and they will be incurring the common area expenses like lift maintenance, parking, sewage, gardening, security, and in turn recover it from the members as maintenance charges. So that will come under business, and it is also supply under 7.1 AA. 7.1 AA it will become supply. any activity by a person other than individual and its members. So there it will come. Then next, any activity of a race club including betting transactions. Betting transactions, no doubt it is business, but all activities of race club also comes under business. Can you tell me activities of race club other than betting? Other than betting. Sale of merchandise. They sell t-shirts, caps, jerseys, and sale of food and beverages, sale of entry tickets, membership subscriptions, parking tickets, parking slots. These are all examples of any activity of the race club. Then all activities of government is covered under business. But sir, only few activities are covered under supply and remaining are excluded from supply. These are the specific activities which are treated as business. Okay. So we have completed the meaning of business and we have meaning of related. Have a look into this. This related definition is important. Mark it as important. So far, whatever definitions we have seen, not important, but you should know. So the which I have discussed, you heard it and you just quickly go through that, enough, but not important. But this related definition is important because the moment you see the transaction, in that they will be giving certain points which is a related party transaction, and if it is a related party transaction, transaction value not applicable, you need to determine the value in terms of rules. And also one more point for related party transaction, what is that? Even though it is without consideration, it will become supply under 7(1)(c). For related parties, there are actually 2 points. Even though without consideration, it will become supply, and transaction value not applicable, we need to determine the value in terms of rules. That point I have given. And total 9 relationships we have, only 9 relationships. In this case of 9 points, it is a related party transaction. Apart from this 9, it is not a related party transaction. Look into the first point. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. So in my business, I am appointing you as the officer, and in return you are appointing me as the officer in your business. What is officer means? Usually officer is a word used in the Companies Act to refer a person at the top management level, like a CEO, COO, CFO, that category people. So then they will be called as officer or even director. In my company, I am appointing you as the director, and in return in your company you are appointing me as the director. Now we both have mutual interest in our business, so we both are treated as related. Also one more point they have added latest in the circular is that director and company is also related. That's an amendment which I gave there. Director of a company and such company are related. So this is recent point. Director of a company and such company are related. So through one circular they have given this point, but I did not give you entire part of it, just this much is sufficient. There is a company which has a director. He may be managing director or a whole-time director, or he may be non-executive director, independent director, whatever the director may be. Director of a company and the company are treated as related under this point. Okay. Then second, such persons are legally recognized partners of a firm. So there is a partnership firm. In that partnership firm, there are 3 partners A, B, C. A and B are related, B and C are related, and A and C are related. But whether partners and firm are related? Partners and firm are related or not related? Not related. Only partners of a firm is related, but partners and firm are not related. Please underline that. Firm and partners are not related. And they use the word legally recognized partners in business. What is the meaning of legally recognized? Partnership deed is registered. So if the partnership deed is not registered, no one will know who are the partners of that firm now. So that is the meaning of that. Legally recognized partners means that partnership deed is registered. Then third point, such persons are employer and employee, that already we discussed. So tell me what are the first 3 points. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Number 2, legally recognized partners of a firm. Number 3, employer and employee. Can you remember these 3? Now look into the fourth point. Any person directly or indirectly owns, controls or holds 25% or more of the outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them. What is that? Say here, so there is a company X Limited and there is a company Y Limited, and Mr. A has invested greater than or equals to 25% in X Limited, and Mr. A has invested greater than or equals to 25% in Y Limited. Now this X Limited and Y Limited are treated as related. Understood? Because two companies having a common shareholder holding how much? 25% or more. See there, 25% or more. They did not say more than 25%. 25% or more in two companies makes those two companies related. Any person directly or indirectly owns, holds or controls 25% or more of the outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them. That is this point. Okay. So in simple words, two companies with a common shareholder holding 25% or more makes those two companies related. Whether A and X Limited is related? No. A and Y Limited is related? No. Only X Limited and Y Limited are related. And how X Limited will know that A has invested more than 25% in Y Limited? Disclosure requirement as per Companies Act. Whenever you are holding 25% or more in one company, you have to disclose that information to the other company. So therefore, A should disclose to X Limited that he has invested greater than or equals to 25% in Y Limited. Also to Y Limited, they need to disclose that A has invested greater than or equals to 25% in X Limited, so that any transaction that takes place between these two companies will become a related party transaction. So they will try to avoid those transactions. Why they made it like this? Because definitely A will play an influential role for a transaction between these two, because basically these transactions and all requires a special resolution, and without his vote, how this special resolution will be taken? His vote is so crucial because he has invested greater than or equals to 25% for that reason. Understood? Then another point you see, fifth point. This is fourth point here. This is fourth point. And what is the fifth point? Any person directly or indirectly controls the another. Unfortunately, control is not defined in GST. Then what is the meaning of control? We need to take control in general sense. In general sense, when there will be control, investment greater than 50%. One company or one person invested greater than 50% in the other, there will be control. Example, holding subsidiary company. Any other way other than investment? Board of directors, majority common board of directors. For example, two companies where 3 out of 5 directors are common, then one company controls the another company. Then control by way of operations, need not be control by way of ownership or directors, but control can be by way of operations also. How? Through a shareholding agreement. Through a shareholding agreement, I will control the company. So because say I am giving some fund to the company and that fund is 40% of its capital value, that is market capitalization. Whatever I gave money to the company is, I am investing here, startup. I am investing in a startup. The valuation of that startup is say some 500 crores and I have invested 200 crores. But this 200 crores is crucial for them, because using this 200 crores they will repay their term loans etc. and all, and that's crucial high risk investment for me. So what I will do, I will ensure that I am controlling their operations. Every decision which they are taking, they should take my approval. So this way also I can control. How I can control this way? Through a shareholding agreement, I will control the company. Then one more case is that this OYO, if you see OYO rooms, what OYO rooms they will do? They will never acquire the hotel. Already one hotel will be there and they will just take the operation rights of that hotel. So means completely that OYO rooms is under the control of OYO and they will only do the operations, but the ownership is not of OYO and they will share a percentage to the owner of that property. Again in this case also there is control by way of operations. So control can be through investment or through composition of board of directors or through operations. That is that fifth point. Then next one, sixth one, you see, both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person. What is this, sir? There are two companies, X Limited and Y Limited. Same example I am taking, X Limited, Y Limited. A Limited invest greater than 50% in X Limited. So whether A Limited controls X Limited? Yes. A Limited invested greater than 50% in Y Limited. Whether A Limited controls Y Limited? Now, as X Limited and Y Limited is under the common control of a third person, therefore X Limited and Y Limited are treated as related parties. This is given in sixth point. Sir, what is the difference then between fourth point and sixth point, sir? In fourth point, 25% itself is sufficient, sir, and why we need to talk about 50%? Can you tell me the difference between fourth point and sixth point? Good. In fourth point, they are talking about only investment. Only investment. See, don't look at my face, see the book. Fourth point, you see, what is that word they are using? Invested greater than or equals to 25%, correct? But in sixth point, what is the word they are using? Control. What is the difference between these two? Control can be by way of investment or by way of majority board of directors. See this. So A Limited is having A, B, C, D, E as directors, and X Limited is having A, B, C, F, G as directors. So 3 out of 5 are common, correct? Therefore A Limited controls X Limited. Then Y Limited, if you see, for Y Limited, so we have C, D, E, I, K are the directors. Again A Limited controls Y Limited. Why? Majority common. But between X Limited and Y Limited, majority are not common, only one person is common, C, correct? Even then they are treated as related. Why they are treated as related? Because these two companies are under the common control of a third person. Understood here? Two companies under the common control of a third person. So control can be by way of investment or by way of majority board of directors. So they both will be treated as related. Simple here. Two companies with a common parent company. Two people, two children, same father, mother different, related or not related? Related. Like that. Two companies, same parent, related or not related? Related. You understood? Remember this way. Then next. So together, seventh point. So can you tell me the first three? First three. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Second, legally recognized partners of a firm. Third, employer and employee. Next three, related to control. Common shareholder holding 25% or more in two companies makes those two companies related. Then fifth point, control. Control can be by way of investment greater than 50, majority board of directors or operations. Then sixth point, two companies are under the common control of a third person. Now look into the last 3 points. After this we will leave. So see that. 7th point, together they directly or indirectly control a third person. What is that? Say this. Sir, X Limited is one company. X Limited is one company, and this X Limited is having two shareholders, Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A has invested 20% in X Limited, 20% in X Limited. Mr. B has invested 35% in X Limited. Now, whether A controls X Limited, to control how much investment should be there? More than 50. So, A is not controlling X Limited. Is B controlling X Limited? No, because to control more than 50 is required. No, but cumulatively if you see how much investment they have made, whether there exists control, yes. So, individually A and B is not having control, but cumulatively they are having control. So, A and B are treated as related. A and B are treated as related. So, individually no control, individually there is no control, but cumulatively there is control. So, therefore, they both are treated as related. Then can we say, sir, all shareholders of a company are related in that way? No, because at any given point of time we need to see relationship between two parties, two only, correct? Reality also two only. What? Relationship will be seen between two parties only, correct? We have a culture and tradition, follow that. So, therefore, who are those two parties here? Supplier and recipient. Supplier and recipient, take two shareholders of a company. Is these two shareholders treated like having the major control? Yes, then they both are treated as related. Because in a transaction there will be two parties only, na, supplier and recipient. That's why related definition we will never see at a time between all the parties. Any two parties, any two shareholders you take, together are they controlling the company? Yes, then they both are treated as related. Then that is this, together they control a third person. Then 8, they are members of the same family. Family is defined. Spouse and children, whether or not dependent. Spouse means for husband wife and wife husband and their children. Then brothers, sisters, grandparents and parents, if they are wholly and mainly dependent on that person. Okay, but spouse and children, whether or not dependent. For me, my wife and my kids are treated as always related, family. But my brothers, sisters, parents and grandparents, both side grandparents, my father's father and mother and my mother's father and mother. So, both side, paternal, maternal, both side grandparents are treated as related to me if they are wholly and mainly dependent on me. Whether my grandchildren come under my family, see the definition. No, what kind of definition it is? How my grandchildren will not come under my family? Someone's family, yeah. Complete relationship they are destroying. So, grandchildren not included in the family definition. Maybe, so they would have thought by the time I get the grandchildren I will die or what, you know. So, no, why? They created. But you know, for my grandchildren I am family. Correct. Okay. So, might be something he drank, what he not, I don't know. So, really we need to know which brand it is, okay. So, however, so for grandson, grandparent is family. For grandparents, grandchildren is not family, okay. So, then here spouse and children of the person. Sir, children includes grandchildren, then parents includes grandparents. Why separately given? You can argue with me. Sir, children includes grandchildren, sir. Then parents include grandparents. Why separately it is given? Which means they mean to say it is separate. So, don't include children, in children itself grandchildren. In exam, write that supply made by a person to their grandchildren, it is not a related party transaction. So, from whose perspective we need to see? Generally, all activities we see from whose perspective? Supplier point of view. In the person, you keep the supplier. In the person, you keep the supplier and you keep recipient in the others. In import of services, you keep the person as the recipient. Why? Because import of service we need to see from whose point of view? Recipient point of view. Now you understood why I discussed that. So the person you need to keep as recipient and see the other person. For example, I am importing services from my dependent brother. Related party transaction. I am importing services from my dependent brother. Related party transaction. I am importing services from my father who is not dependent on me. No, because I need to see from the person. Sir, for father, I am always related. But for me, my father is not always related. You understood? Only if it is dependent. So, from whose perspective we need to see? As I am importing services, I should be the person and I need to take my father. So, person to father will be treated as related only if dependent. Are you getting this? Whereas, if my father is in India, I am also in India, then in the person, my father should be there. You understood or not? And when he makes supply to me, always it's a related party transaction, whether I am dependent on him or not dependent on him. So, easily remember, in import of services, this person should be recipient. Understood? This person should be recipient. In which case? Import of services. In all other cases, this person should be supplier. Then next. 9. Also persons who are associated in the business of one another, in that one is sole agent or sole distributor or sole concessionaire, howsoever described of the other, shall be deemed to be related. A simple sole selling agent is always treated as related. Who is a sole selling agent? Sole means one. Only one agent. All the supplies you are making through that agent. Definitely related only. So that is this. Got it? So total 9 relationships. First 3, such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Number 2, legally recognized partners of a firm, employer and employee. Next 3 related to control. 2 companies, common shareholder holding 25% or more. Then 1 company or 1 person controlling the other. Either investment greater than 50 or majority board of directors or operations. And then they both are under the common control of a third person. And then we have seen next 3 points. Together they control a third person and they are members of the same family. And sole selling agent. Family, spouse and children whether or not dependent, brothers, sisters, parents and grandparents if they are only and mainly dependent. Here every relationship is included. I mean straight or step. So stepchildren is also, because nowadays lot of seeds, lot of branches will come. So because of that, all these branches are from the same seed only. Due to that reason, everything is part of family. Got it? So step or otherwise. So with this we will stop, and from the next point onwards we will see in tomorrow's session. The agenda for tomorrow is that tomorrow we will be completing this supply chapter. We have composite supply and mixed supply in this. So this will get over and we have some circulars, and thereafter in the afternoon session I will be starting with the next chapter, that is liability to pay GST. Okay, that is the agenda for tomorrow. Thank you.